Gospel of John students, welcome to Unit 6. This week we will be studying two very unique features of John's Gospel. The first feature is the way that John presents the night before Jesus' death, which is quite distinct from the synoptic tradition. For example, in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, the focus is on the Lord's Supper, the Eucharist, Jesus' final meal with his disciples. When John's Gospel, Jesus does sit down for a final meal with his disciples, but the meal, or the Lord's Supper, is not at all the focal point. Instead, there's a foot washing. Even Gethsemane in John's Gospel has different contours and connotations as Jesus authoritatively commands everything that is happening there. In addition, as opposed to getting a focus on simply the events of the night before Jesus' death, in John's Gospel we get 4 chapters of dialogue and a great prayer of Jesus in a segment that is typically referred to as the farewell discourse. So there's a lot to sink our teeth into here. The second part of this week we'll be looking into Kester's chapter on perhaps one of the most controversial and exclusive claims in all of the Gospels, and this occurs in John 14, verse 6, in which Jesus claims to be the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but through him. We're going to have a robust dialogue about the exclusivity of this particular verse, but I do want to challenge perhaps the conventional assumption that Jesus is here referring to the afterlife. That is certainly not evident. And when it comes to the question of other religions, we certainly have to pay attention to both the context of this verse and the claims of the later New Testament. By the time you get to the later letters of the New Testament, it's interesting to me that there's a great focus on making sure the faith remains attractive to outsiders. And I am grieved to say that this particular verse has probably not been in service so much in evangelical circles toward the attractiveness of our faith to outsiders today. So I think it'll be fun to pick apart what Kester is saying and really apply it to our time. If I can serve you at all this week, please don't hesitate to email me at jrice@leeuniversity.edu. We can always set up a phone or a Skype conversation if you need to dialogue further about the assignments or the content of the course. Thanks very much. Have a great week. Blessings.